Take a look at this.
I went to Africa for the first time. People talk about how when you get off that plane and you put your foot on African soil, something happens. And I'm like, okay, cool. Woo woo, Bro, when I got off that plane, I set my foot, on my right foot and my left foot on the ground in Africa, in Johannesburg, at that airport. And the overwhelming feeling accompanied with goosebumps that hit me was home. Something came over me when my natural physical body was reunited to the soil of the DNA from which I came. That space, something came over me. That was nothing I'd ever felt before. And I think what I'm saying today is that we have to align ourselves with the original design for us.
Yeah. You, why I say Ghana is not poor. First of all, in the country, there's no war, no civil unrest, no social unrest. Peace, calm, quiet, good living. Number one. Two, there's no killing in the streets or killings anywhere. Three, there's a host of natural resources, and I'll come back to listing some of those natural resources. Four, human resources. I believe that the human resource aspect of the country is one thing that drew the colonizers here in the first place, because they saw something different in these people. They saw strength, they saw intensity, they saw resilience, and that is why they came here and took the very best. Sports, entertainment, all of this just shows talent.
I said, from once you have my skin color, you are an African. But most people in the Caribbean, if you tell a Jamaican, you are an African. No, me not African, I'm a Jamaican. No, you were taken from Africa. You've been a Barbados. No, I'm not I'm a Bajan. Listen, you are an African. We were all taken and scattered all across the earth. Time for you to come home, man. Time for you to come Africa.
We're here in Ethiopia, and this town is the Jamaica of Africa. This is Sheshameni.
My name is Mama Joanne, and I came from Jamaica, and I've been living in Ethiopia for the past 50 years.
In the 1960s, thousands of Jamaicans moved to Ethiopia, but the question is why? Out of all the places around the world, why did so many Jamaicans and Rastafarians choose to come here in Shashamani?
Yeah, because the land grant was offered by His Imperial Majesty for the black people to return.
Ethiopia's emperor, Haile Selassie, gave away 500 acres of land to black people in other countries, and Jamaicans took full advantage of this opportunity. Today, in Shashamani, Ethiopia, you'll find Jamaicans creating families. You'll find Jamaicans building businesses. It's a bar and restaurant.
Yep.
You got Jamaican food.
Jamaican food.
Jamaican juices.
Jamaican juices. Magnum, sour, sap, sorry.
So there's a Jamaican-owned business here in Shashamani. It's called the Bolt Restaurant. I'm excited because we're going to have some Jamaican food and we're going to have some Jamaican fresh juices. We have some fish. We have some rice and peas here, some cabbage. It's a good, wholesome Jamaican meal. Fish is good, flavorful. Saru, fire. So how do you feel moving from Jamaica to Shashamani?
Well, I think it's the best thing I ever do in my life. It was a struggle at first, but Jamaica say if you want good, it knows after all. So we're here now. This is my home.
This is the Jamaica of Africa. This is Shashamani.
Jamaicans and Ghanaians, y'all closer than y'all think. Yeah, we know Jamaicans came from West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, you know what I'm saying, etc. But check this out. In Jamaica, we got this wrap, you know what I mean? This baked goods that we wrap and put in the oven that we call dukuno. In Shatta Wale's song, this head wrap that he's talking about when he said, this head bigger than a duku, right? That word dukuno. All right, throw that aside. Anansi and Tukuma stories. These stories were told to us by Miss Louise Bennett, Miss Lou, when we were kids. You know what I mean? Amasran. Yeah, man. That came from Ghana. The Akan are the Akan people. So no closer than you think. You're closer than you think. Family ties.
Ghana made me cry.
The first time I visited Ghana a week ago, I sat down listening to the music, the instruments. I saw the people who looked like me. And in that moment, I did not feel othered. I had a very strong physical reaction and I started to cry. I wasn't sad, I wasn't disappointed. I had no idea where the tears were coming from, but I sat there and I remember thinking, these are my people. This is the land of my ancestors. And I felt like a child returning to her mother. I felt like I was discovering this connection that I never knew I did not have. And I would implore every Black person who lives outside of Africa to go to Africa, particularly Ghana, and try to see if you have this deep sense of belonging and connection that happens so automatically. You would think it's like a spiritual and a kind of a soul connection. Psychologists and scientists have all kinds of names for it. Some of them call it ancestral memory. Some of them call it epigenetics, which suggests that the trauma and the resilience of our ancestors who were taken from West Africa primarily and put through the Middle Passage and the slave trade, that kind of lives almost within our DNA and can transcend generations. And so when we go back home to Africa, and especially for Jamaicans to Ghana, where most of the slaves were taken from, that your body can almost have this physical reaction before your brain even understands what's going on. What I learned being there was that the body remembers. My body was saying to me, welcome home. As a Jamaican visiting Ghana for the first time, I didn't feel like I was visiting. I did not feel like a tourist. I looked around, the geography looked the same, the flowers, the landscape, the people looked like us. Ghanaians are so warm, they are so welcoming. I felt so safe that I felt like I was home. As a Jamaican, I have really never been around a whole nation that has been so welcoming, have their arms open, are telling you welcome home. This is your home. This is your land. And I am a complete stranger in their country. And I have to give thanks to the works of people like Marcus Garvey, who started this return to Africa, Black repatriation movement, and in the first president of independent Ghana back in 1957, Kwame Nkrumah, who really was a student of Marcus Garvey, who really made Ghana home to Africans living in the diaspora, belonging in motion, soul connection in motion. That is what it feels like stepping foot into Ghana, being around Ghanaians. And the experience may hit different, I think, for Jamaicans versus Black Americans. I think for us as Jamaicans, we still retain a lot of the culture, a lot of the language, the music, the norms. And so I feel like as a Jamaican going to Ghana, you will feel more like you are returning home. Versus for Black Americans, who I think a lot of those practices got watered down and may not be as present in the modern day. And so going back to Africa may feel like you are reclaiming something that was lost. But either way, when you think about it, we really all are scattered seeds rooted in the same soil. And I believe that once the wind blows us back home to Africa, we all bloom again. So Medase, Ghana, Meadow, Ghana, one love.
Ghana feels like Jamaica. Ghana even smells like Jamaica. Even some of your language is similar to Jamaica. So, the way some of the villages talk, I don't know what you call it. We call it patois, but you guys speak and you say, adekam. And, that kind of, it's similar to patois.
Pidgin.
Yeah, pidgin. There you go. So pidgin and patois, very similar. And, even some of the Tree language, like there are people in Jamaica that still use certain words. So some of the foods are the same.
Hi, I'm Debs, a Jamaican living in Zimbabwe. So story time. When my move comes in with my Zimbabwean husband, I knew I would miss my family back home. My Jamaican food, everything from ackee and breadfruit to escovitch, fish and bami. But with Zimbabwe being landlocked, what I miss most is the beach. Somebody asked me, I coulda what make me left all of that for Zim. Here is the answer. But a dance. It's a Jamaican dance. This is Mofu, Mufakose, Murume Wangu. That was my Shana. Anyway, according to him, the beach is not a Mofu's natural habitat. So since I'm the one without a totem, relocating to Zim should be easier than the other way around. And obviously he won because here we are in Zimbabwe. Anyway, that hypothesis is still under testing.
Alright, pleasant good day viewers. My name is Jamal. Most of the Jamaicans would know me as JT. I'm here in Ghana enjoying the atmosphere. Ghana is not so much different from Jamaica, so I'm not feeling too much homesick right now. The trees, the vibrant, mystic atmosphere, I like it all. It calms my soul. When I'm in Jamaica, there's a lot of rush, there's a lot of pressure. My mind is always clouded, but I just feel free that now that I'm in Mother Africa, my home.
Come with me to the streets of Lagos as a Jamaican living in Canada who decided to travel to Nigeria for the very first time. As a Jamaican, KFC is the first stop. Can you believe they have jollof rice at KFC? That is the most Nigerian thing I've ever seen. No KFC in this world I've ever been to with this rice, but they have also have yam fries. The chicken was so good, well seasoned. My next stop was Cold Stone. I heard it's the best ice cream in town, and as an ice cream girly, I had to go to Cold Stone to try their ice cream. And it was 100% 10 out of 10. Of course, the next stop, Suya. I heard about this all the time from my Nigerian friends, and I'm like, where else to get it than Nigeria itself, the street of Lagos? So I'm about to try Suya. I guess it's beef on a grill, and this gentleman was cutting it up, and I was like, okay, there's newspaper. So I guess you're going to serve it to me in the newspaper. I took it home in the newspaper, of course, and I tried it, and it is literally the favorite.
You know Jamaicans came from Africa?
No, we did not.
But you did come from
no.
Africa.
We did not come from Africa. Just keep to the side.
CJ, I know you like Nigerians.
Keep me away from this dirty Africa, man. I'll be from there. Dirty things, them. Have you seen what the food looks like? How can I be from Africa? I don't eat that dirty food, fam. Ugh, Africans, bro.
So today we have a very interesting topic that we're going to talk about, and that is all about Jamaicans now going to Africa, experiencing Africa, and then after experiencing it, they come out and talk about it. That's what our video is focusing on today. From what you've heard, you can clearly see that the Jamaicans that have gone to Africa are very, 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 very positive about them moving to Africa. And the first thing that they talk about is the fact that, the moment they touch the land of Africa, they feel like they're part of them. They feel like, they are home, and there is nothing beautiful like that, honestly. And guys, remember, these people left Africa like thousands and thousands of years ago through the ocean because they were being stolen. They were being forcefully taken to Europe, to other parts of the world, to go and work as slaves. I really feel sad that the four grandfathers, the four grandfathers, our parents, some of them left, went to the Caribbean, went to Europe and America through the Caribbean, and they went through so much pain. But anyway, that is history. But if you put yourself in that shoe, you will really, really try to imagine, like, is this really what happened by then? But anyway, we thank God that in the Caribbean, most of them are republics. They are democratic now, and in the past, some island like Barbados, it actually became a republic or a democrat, like just recently, like in the year 2018. Some are still under the monarchy. They're being led, like, when you talk about monarchy, it means like things like the judiciary, the top judiciary level it's in Europe, in UK specifically. Like, you will have a case in your country or in your island, but then if it has to go to the top of the toppest level of court, it's out. The final decision is made out there, and of course they're not really free. So experiences are so positive from what we've heard. Some are still encouraging Jamaicans, you know what, my good people, just come to Africa. Here, we have something that we call social. I mean, people are so social, people are friendly, and then you can't see there is no war here. There is no, analyzing aimlessly like what is happening outside there. And some of us always sit down and think like a country like America. How are people even, psychologically affected there? Because you don't know the next moment you might have a confrontation over a sweet with somebody, and the next minute they remove and pull the trigger, and that becomes the end of you. That's how unsafe it is over there. But here, if you really need to have one, it is a long, long process, because by that you'll be able to at least, I won't really fear talking to people anyhow, because at least I know there is no anybody that can pull a trigger at that moment. Because I can imagine, like in America, the slightest misunderstanding can lead to something so big and regrettable. Anyway, I wonder why Africa is branded as the most or the poorest, yet it's being exploited left, right, center because of the beautiful and value of resources that we have. I fail to understand that, honestly speaking. And if you get to listen to the clips that you just watched, it contains great information that when other people watch, they know what to expect when they move to Africa. And there is this particular town in Ethiopia called Shashemene. It's one of the most I don't know why they're not really talking about that town in Ethiopia. And that was courtesy of Emperor Haile Selassie. Some time back, like so many years ago, he offered to bring Jamaicans back to Africa, and he gave them 500 hectares of land, so big. They also came back. They still live there up to today, and some have lands there, but they still travel. Some have never gone back, but you can see that they retained that culture, they retained that belief of a Rastafarian. Haile Selassie was a Rastafari, and it's awesome anyway. And currently, you can see, like, when people go to Shashemene, and they show the way the Jamaicans there live, and they just are like, oh my God, how did I not know about this until now? And others are like, I wish someone could give us an opportunity, could offer us an opportunity like this now. I will go and I will never ever look back. And that's what people are saying now. Can you imagine? So most Jamaicans believe that they come from the western part of Africa, the West Africa region there. And if you see most of them like trying to find out the DNA results, trying to track it down, you'll actually find most of them saying that, my DNA traces back to Ghana. And, there has been really great good relationship between the Ghanaians and the Jamaicans. And from the clips that we just played, you could actually see that they have similar words, and of course with the different meanings, but that shows how close these people are. And my good people, I want to encourage you, like Jamaicans, welcome to Africa. Africa, the land that we all love, just like Jamaica and the Caribbean, the lands that we all love. So I'll see you in the next video.